Continue Dirga Pranayama as you bring the palms together at your heart center. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Then the next time you breathe in, release your hands to the side, sweep them up and all the way overhead. Palms come together. As you exhale, draw the palms through your center line to your heart. Then inhale, arms sweep out to the sides, up and overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, palms to the heart. Do that 3 more times. Warming up with sun breaths. One more time. Arms sweep up and over. Palms come to the heart. Now inhale, hands back up overhead, let the palms come apart. As you exhale, drop the left hand to the floor, reach up and over to the left. Now inhale to draw the right shoulder back, opening your heart toward the sky, lifting your gaze. Exhale, come back to where you were, shoulders are stacked. Inhale back to center, right hand comes to the floor. Exhale, lean to the right, left arm sweeps up and over. Inhale, draw the left shoulder back, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, shoulders come back to being stacked. Inhale, center. This is our flow. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, open the heart up, little twist to the spine and the rib cage. Exhale, back to where you just were, side stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, square and center. 2 more times each way. Let your experience go inside. Savor the sensations of opening the side body, opening the rib cage. One more time each way. We'll meet together in center, hands by the sides. Extend your legs out in front of you. Now bend the right knee. Draw it into the body as you bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Reach your hands forward, breathe in. As you exhale, round forward over the right knee and then hug it in to the body. Keep rooting out through the right heel. The left heel. And send your breath into your belly. This is giving a nice massage to the digestive tract and the vital organs. On a more subtle body level, we are building prana. Now inhale to rise back up, extend the right leg, bend the left knee, bring the sole of the foot to the floor, right inside the right thigh. Then inhale to reach your hands forward, exhale to round over the knee and then hug it into the body with the arms. You can let the head drop, root out through the right heel, and send the breath into the belly. If you have any tightness down the backs of your legs, this is a gentle opening. Now inhale to come back up, extend the left leg out in front of you, scooch off any prop you might be sitting on and move it to the side. Bring your feet to the floor and wide. Hands behind you, and the fingers can face forward or at any other direction that's comfortable on your wrist. Now breathe in. Exhale, drop the knees to the left. Lift through the heart as you look over the right shoulder, little opening for the chest. Then inhale to center. Exhale, knees right. Lift through the heart as you look over the left shoulder. Then inhale, center. Exhale, knees left. Heart lifts as you look right. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees right. Heart lifts as you look left. Go side to side with your breath, guiding the way. Opening up the hips, the low back, the heart, the neck. And we'll meet together back at center. Feet are about hip width apart in front of the knees. Hands come behind you, behind the shoulders. You could point the fingers forward. You could point the fingers behind you, which is harder on the shoulders, or you could come to fists with your knuckles facing in towards each other. Two options there. Now inhale and lift your hips off the floor. Tuck your tail actively underneath as you rotate your inner thighs down toward the earth. Lift the sternum up toward the base of the skull as you drop your lower front ribs down. Slightly tuck the chin. As you exhale, drop your hips back toward the earth. We're going to do that a few more times. Inhale, lift the hips up. Tuck the tail, rotate the inner thighs down, lift through the sternum, exhale, hips come down. Inhale, lift up, reverse table. Exhale, hips down. Two more times. This last time we'll come to stillness for 3 breaths. Come back to that alignment of tucking the tail, rotating inner thighs down, lifting through the sternum as the lower front ribs drop down. Tuck the chin. Breathe. Now release your hips down. Reach your hands forward. Feet are still on the floor. Draw your lower belly up and in. Lift the sternum toward the base of the skull. Lower front ribs drop down. Little tuck to the chin. So we're adding some compression to the spine. We're activating that central pillar of stability. Now, if you want, you can tip back onto your sacrum and lift the feet off the floor without collapsing the spine. Navasana, boat pose. Breathe slow and steady in, slow and steady out, building heat, strength, endurance, and focus. Now let your feet come back to the floor. Hug your elbows into the body. Round over the knees as you let the chin drop. Rock a little bit side to side. Let the muscles soften. Let the heat you just cultivated spread through the whole body. Now make your way onto your hands and knees. You might like to bring a couple blocks with you to the top of your mat on either side. You might like to cushion your knees with a blanket if you're on a hard floor. Bring the wrists under the shoulders, bring the knees under the hips, spread the fingers wide. Let there be a tiny bend in your knees. Scoop your low belly up and in just a little bit so that your spine and the lower spine is supported. This is active table. Now inhale, drop the belly down, lift the crown and tail up for cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin and tail for cat pose. Do that a few more times to massage the spine. Massage the vital organs and move prana through the body. Prana is our vital life force. It's always flowing, and we can improve the flow with gentle movement. Do one more each way, ending in cat so the body feels balanced. Then come back to table. Walk your hands in front of your shoulders. Fingers are spread wide. Curl your toes under. Lift the knees off the floor to come to plank. Now we'll lock in the spine, strengthening that central core line, that core of stability. Tuck your tail, scoop your low belly up and in. Lift through the sternum as you try to draw your shoulder blades down your back, and hopefully you'll feel a nice squeeze on your spinal column. Little tuck to the chin. Now take a breath in. As you exhale, press the hips up and back to downward dog. As you inhale, lower back down to plank. As you exhale, lift the hips up, press back, downward dog. Go at your own pace. Inhaling plank, exhaling dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Extend the right leg back behind you. Root evenly through each hand, and then lift the right hip. So you stack it on top of the bottom one, bend the right knee, and then begin to circle the knee to open the hip joint. Now come back to extension and stillness. Breathe in. As you exhale, draw the right knee underneath you, come to one-legged plank, or sometimes called flying pigeon. So the right knee's underneath you. Root out through the left heel. Scoop your belly up and in, little tuck to the chin. One more breath in. Exhale and drop your right knee right behind the right wrist. You can bring your right shin any amount toward the top of your mat as you drop the back knee, uncurl the back toes, and escort your hips down and back to come to pigeon Kapotasana. You could stay here on your hands, feeling like this is plenty of stretch. You could also bow forward over the front leg, maybe bringing your forehead onto the floor. You could use blocks here as well under the arms. With your inner left thigh, press it towards your midline to lengthen the left leg out of the hip socket. Notice if your left hip is really far behind the right one, and draw it gently forward so the hips are level. And then notice if your weight is shifting to the right or to the left, and see if you can balance it right in the middle. And then send your breath into the right hip. Slow and steady. Relax around whatever sensations of stretch you encounter there. And as you remain and breathe, notice any change, any softening that happens. Now walk your hands underneath you. plant the hands for downward dog. Curl your back toes under. Breathe in. Exhale, step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Now extend the left leg back behind you, press evenly through each hand. Then lift the left hip so the hips are stacked, bend the left knee, and then begin to circle it to open the left hip. Now come back to stillness. Extend out through the left leg as you breathe in. As you exhale, lower down to one-legged plank, drawing the left knee underneath you. Root out through the right heel as you scoop your belly up and in, little tuck to the chin. Breathe in. Exhale, lower the left knee right behind the left wrist. Drop your back knee, uncurl your toes, begin to drop your hips down and back. You can increase the amount of stretch by bringing your left shin more parallel to the top of your mat. Now you could stay here on your hands, or you could lower down. Bowing over the front leg, bringing your forehead to the mat. You could use blocks for support as well. Now press your inner right thigh toward your midline to straighten that right leg coming out from the hip socket. If the right hip is way behind the left one, squirt it forward. And then center your weight right over the floor. So it's not over to the right, not over to the left, just right over the floor. And breathe into the left hip. Use the breath, use your intention, and notice what changes. Does anything soften or release? Now walk your hands underneath you. Curl the back toes under, plant the hands for downward dog. Breathe in. As you exhale, step back to downward dog. Take a breath in as you bend your knees and look at the top of your mat. As you exhale, jump or step the feet to meet the hands in forward fold.